So hi everyone, this is coming a bit late in the day, but trying to get it in. Um, as we read through this portion of Judges, what is it, 16 to 18, something. I'll have to verify to put the title on it. Just taking a look at Samson. I know it's only the first chapter that it deals with Samson, but still looking at Samson here, we see that he was a pretty big failure as a Nazarite, wasn't he? He wasn't supposed to drink. He wasn't supposed to cut his hair. He wasn't supposed to be around dead bodies. There was the commandment to everybody not to have anything to do with foreign women. And when you look at it, Samson failed. He wasn't. Yeah, he failed in every area except cutting his hair. He was an adulteress. He used prostitutes. He had foreign women as girlfriends. He was around the carcass of a lion. He ate from the carcass. Pretty gross. Yeah, he did all these things, everything except cutting his hair. And even then, he gave the secret away, so somebody else ended up cutting his hair, and that was the last straw. He lost the presence of the Lord in that moment. But Samson was set up by the Lord to be a mighty leader. He had strength. He had a way of drawing people. But Samson threw all of his potential away. And it was all because of himself. It was all focused on him. When he did act on his role of fighting against the enemies of Israel, he did it from a point of vengeance. He didn't do it out of obedience to the Lord. There was no sense of that whatsoever. It was just a thing of vengeance that he did. And it's really crazy. But yet Samson is listed in the list of heroes of faith that we find in the book of Hebrews. He's listed there with Abraham and with all these greats. And we scratch our head and we say, why? And it came down to the fact that when you take everything else away, Samson's last act was to pray and then act in faith as if that prayer had been answered. He acted in faith as if the prayer had been answered, that his strength returned, and he defeated the enemy. Yeah, you could look at the fact that it was an act of vengeance, but it's still, his purpose was to bring hurt to the Philistines, and he did that, and that last act was an act of faith. So he's in the heroes of faith. Could you imagine what he could have been? What he could have been? We have a lot of, every one of us have been filled with capacity. We get all kinds of potential. We've been gifted. We have all of this, and yet we can lack the one thing that Samson ended up showing, which was that act of faith. Could you imagine if we lived our full potential, our full capacity, by choosing to live by faith, praying and acting as if we had received it, praying knowing it's Father's will for us to have that, and moving out in that? Can you just imagine? Man, my brain hurts just thinking about that. And that's the difference between those who achieve great things in the kingdom and those who fall short. It all comes down to that acting on what God says, acting in our capacity. Yeah, something just to think about. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.